Hello again, everyone. Today's video is going to be on time, and more specifically, we're going to be talking about the 12-hour versus the 24-hour time, and I'm going to use the website Math Learning Center. So let's go ahead and take a look at that now. So before we go to the website, I'm just going to give some details about the 12-hour and the 24-hour clock. So it's a different of expression. Both are time conventions, with the 12-hour dividing the day into two periods, which I'll show, and the 24-hour clock counting the full 24 hours of the day continuously. And again, I'll give you some examples here shortly. Now, unlike the 12-hour clock, the 24-hour clock is viewed as being specific to timelines and being easy to interpret for most people. Basically, I like to say the 24-hour clock is used for like flights, or if you're taking a train or a bus and you're relying on a specific time, it's not as likely to get confused. The time won't get mixed up if you're using the 24-hour clock as you could possibly might with the 12-hour, just mainly because of that AM, PM, you can claim you read it wrong. In 24-hour, you can't. It's impossible here. Now, just a quick explanation on the abbreviations for AM and PM. So the abbreviation AM is short for the Latin ante meridiem, meaning before noon, which refers to the period from midnight until noon. And PM then, well, it's short for the Latin phrase post meridiem, meaning afternoon. So I just wanted to give a quick explanation about what AM and PM stand for in the 12-hour clock. And using the Math Learning Center website here, I've got 12-hour versus the 24-hour clock here, and I've got several examples showing both the 12-hour and the 24-hour time. So the first one here, I got 12 a.m., which reads here as 0 hours. In some instances, I've seen it says 2400 hours. It really actually depends on what the textbook series you're using, and since the textbook series I'm using at this moment is using this setup, I'm going to follow this one. Okay, so basically, on an analog clock, they both read as the same. It's 12 a.m. All right, now using the analog clock here on the learningcenter.org, I'm going to take the minute hand here, which is the big hand, and I'm going to move it over to 2 o'clock. And now I'm moving it to 2. So now I've moved the hand to 2 a.m., which is 200 hours, and on an analog clock, it reads exactly the same. So I'm going to again take the minute hand here, and now I'm going to move it to 8 a.m., and each time I make a complete circle around, the hour hand, which is the little hand here, moves over to the next number. So let's go ahead and move it to 8 a.m. now. And now I'm coming up on 8 a.m. And 8 a.m. and 0800 hours reads exactly the same here. So for the bonus activity, I want to ask you to identify on the analog clock either 12-hour or 24-hour times. So as far as the analog clock goes, you just write it just like this. So let's go ahead and do 11 a.m. now. Let's move the hands. Here's 11 a.m. Okay, and for both 12-hour and 24-hour, it's the same. Again, for AM, it's all pretty much the same times, actually. Where it changes is when you get past noon. So I'm going to 2 p.m. now. And for 2 p.m., for the 12-hour clock, it reads as 2. On the analog clock, it still shows 2 o'clock, but if you're going to use a digital clock for the 24-hour time, you're going to have 1400 hours here. Okay, so that's where the difference comes in, is after you go past noontime here. Okay, so if we go to 8 p.m., again, it's just going to be the same thing. And coming up on 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. here, and for both the analog clock for 12 and 24 hours, 8 p.m. looks like this on the analog clock. However, for the 24-hour clock, if you're using a digital time, it's going to read as 2000 hours. And then for 11 o'clock, it's going to look like this. Oops, here. So moving my hand up to 11 o'clock here, I got 11 p.m. and 2300 hours if using the digital time. And for the 11 o'clock on the analog clock, it looks the same. Okay, so I just wanted to show you some examples of what 12-hour and 24-hour times look like using both the digital times that I have here as well as the analog clock here. So for the bonus activity, the first bonus activity I'm going to give you here is you're going to use all 4 digits each time to make 6 different 24-hour times. Draw the hands on the clocks. So the numbers I'm using here are 5062, and you're going to have to make 24-hour times here, and then draw the clock, draw the time on the analog clock here. Okay. So now I will leave this link in the description down below, so you can go to this actual site here that I'm showing you, and you can do the times right here. There's no need to even freehand it at all. If you're watching this, then chances are you can get to this link. The only thing I'm going to show you here, and this is why I like Math Learning Center, is the text function. So what I'm going to do is show you how to use the text function here for the bonus activity. So all I'm going to do is click on this here, and then the time, I'm sorry, the numbers come up for the time. So what you can do is just write the 24-hour time using 5062 here. So I'm just going to show you what I mean. So if, I'm just going to show you the 1, 2, 3, 4 as an example here, just to, if you want to type it in like that, you can. Then 5, 6, 7, 8, and as you can see, it's appearing down here. And then, 9, 8, 7, 6, and you can do that and so forth. Okay, then you just click on done, and then there's your 24-hour time. Now for the analog hands here, go up to this function here on this side, and you're going to click on this here, this pin function, and it will draw a perfectly straight line of the time you want to show. Now what I'm showing you here isn't the actual answer, I'm just showing you how it looks. But here's the analog clock here. I'm going to do 3 o'clock, which is not part of the answer here, and you can see it's pretty straight, and I'm kind of rushing through it here just because for the purpose of time, but you can just make it as long as you like for the minutes, and then for the hours here, it's got to be a little shorter, but just make sure it's very clear where you're putting it here. So again, and it's a little crooked, I apologize, but you get the idea. They're perfectly straight lines. It's just a matter of you making it clear enough here. So if it doesn't seem a bit clear, I apologize. I was just rushing through it here. And if you don't like the way it looks, just erase it. There it is. See? So just do it like that. Okay? So that's the first bonus activity. And then I will show you the second bonus activity here. And the second bonus activity says to draw hands on these clocks to show time. So these are the times for these hands here. So if you still got the pen function like I do, you can still do that here. So you can, again, just go up here if you're going to do, and this is not an answer obviously, but if you're going to do 8 o'clock, you can. And it's a little crooked, like I said. I'm using the freehand one here. And again, if you just want to change it, you can. And then you just go here. And I like showing the Math Learning Center because it's got a lot of cool functions here. And again, so that's 8 o'clock. Again, not the straightest, not exactly, it's not neatest because I'm just trying to get through this as fast as I can for the purpose of time here. So when you do this, again, there'll be a link in the description down below, so you can go ahead and click on it, and you'll have access to what I'm just showing you here. Okay? So that's today's video here, and I'm going to do a couple of more videos on time, showing you other aspects of it. It's a pretty big topic, and a friend of mine recommended that I break it up a bit and to make it a little, just not to use up so much time in one video here. So I'm going to do a couple more videos on time, so stay tuned. And that'll do it for today's video. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.